Now that we've creatively sharpened our image, let's go ahead and export it and apply output sharpening. And output sharpening is very helpful when we sample the image down. In other words, when we export it, we make it a bit smaller than it is here in Capture One Pro. Now, the way we get to that is we're going to go up to File, and we're going to go to Export Images, and we're going to export a variant because we've been working on this image. And we're going to send it out as a JPEG, 80 quality, sRGB because it's going to be on a screen. And then our long edge is going to be 2048. And by the way, that's a great size for posting on Facebook. So we're taking an image that's roughly a bit over 5,000 pixels on the long edge, and we're shrinking it down to roughly 2,000 pixels on the long edge. So that is sampling down, and there is a little loss in sharpness that happens during that process. So we'll compensate for that by coming over to Adjustments and choosing Output Sharpening for Screen, because that's where we're going. So usually the amount I have on objects is 150, 175. For portraits, the amount might be a bit less. The radius is usually right around 1. I kind of like 0.8, but 1 is a standard setting that you'll see a lot. And then, of course, threshold is at 1. We're just going to park it at 1 because that is the threshold setting unless you know otherwise. All right, so we're all ready to go. I'm going to hit the export button here. There goes our file. Let's take a look at it. Here it is right here. Let's view it full screen. So as you can see, look at this detail in here. It's nice and crisp, but we don't have any halos. We didn't have to use halo suppression at all. And we sharpened at all 3 phases. So we checked the diffraction correction for input sharpening. We did some creative sharpening. And then we compensated for the sampling down process at export using output sharpening. And the result is a very sharp image. Very crisp, lots of detail, and a joy to look at. So that is the end of our sharpening discussions here in Capture One Pro. Remember that you can also use clarity as part of this process. You know, sharpening happens in many different areas in the application, but if you show restraint and are aware of these different areas, you can create some really nice looking stuff.